Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining in. We still got some time, 2 or 3 minutes. So I'm just going to start sharing my screen and get myself ready. So in the meantime, feel free to go to your bathroom break or just have a sip of your water, and then we will aim to get started within 2 minutes or so. Can anyone just give me thumbs up or just type into chat just to confirm that if you can hear me okay? Perfect. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Thank you. Okay, everybody, I think we might just get started. I know we are still waiting for a few more people to join in because we had a quite a bit of large number of registrations who wanted to join us today, but we might just get started. I can see we do have about 23 students joining us, which is good. Thank you so much for those who are joining us today, and I hope you're having a really good, wonderful start of the week. For those of you who have met me before, my name is Mooney Ha, one of our career development consultants here at Griffiths Careers Employment Service team. And I'm very delighted to be here joined by my lovely colleague, Belinda Murphy, who also specializes in supporting our international students for your career development journey too here at Griffiths University. And before I get started, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we are meeting today. Especially, I'd like to acknowledge the land of the Yagara people, the land on which I'm actually currently based in here, which is at the Nathan campus, where we meet, work, and learn together. So before we get started, I just quickly wanted to highlight just a few housekeeping rules here for us to best run this online webinar together. So if you hover over your mouse on top of the banner of this Teams webinar, you will be able to see the icon chat. So we will try to use the chat for you to make any comments and also ask any questions. So maybe now might be the good chance for you just start typing into chat, introducing with each other. If you can just type your name and perhaps what degree you're studying, what you're studying, and also you are all international students, I assume. So if you could just tell us about which country you might be from. We find that introducing with each other on chat function quite useful for you guys to get to know with each other. You might actually see the student who are actually happen to study the same degree as you as well. So if you can start typing into chat just your name and what you're studying and where you're from, that will be a really good starting point here. But also I'd like to mention that be ready for poll questions. We're going to have a little poll quiz here, quick poll survey. So just keep an eye on the chat function again. So I'm just going to use some poll questions throughout my presentations too. And of course, I'll make sure I send you the copy of today's PowerPoint slides that I'm using, as well as recording, which reminds me that I have to hit the recording button. So that makes sure we are actually, it's already recorded, which is good. Okay, so we will be able to share the copy of slides as well as recording with you guys as well. And also I'd like to highlight, feel free to interrupt me, ask any questions throughout this webinar. Just if you want to raise your hands, I saw that lovely student, Ruza, actually already figured out how to use the hands up emoji. So you can use a hands up emoji, or you can just type that into chat for any specific questions. But I also allow everybody to use a microphone. So feel free to just unmute yourself if you do have any questions to ask me throughout my presentation, because we really try to replicate what's going to happen if it is actually face-to-face interaction on campus. Okay, dokie. So I'm just curious. I'm just going to pause for a few seconds for you guys to type into chat here. I'm just more curious, what actually brought you guys to today's session here? So what was the sort of burning questions, specific questions did you already have in your mind before you decided to join today's session? If you can just type into chat, I'm very curious to know about what you really want to find out from today's webinar from me. Yes, Ruza, unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Hello.
Good morning.
Morning.
I just want to tell you that I can't type into the chat box.
I see.
Chat is only available during the meeting and I can't click on it.
Okay, so does that mean everybody cannot actually type anything to chat? Is that what you mean?
Yes, I can't type anything in chat.
Okay, thanks for flagging that actually. If you can bear with me for a few seconds.
Oh, there it is. Some people can.
Okay.
Well, that's
what about you? Can you try again?
Let me. Maybe if I leave and join again, maybe it could.
Sure.
Give me a second.
Yeah, and you're more than welcome to unmute yourself, asking any question if you can't type anything to chat. Cool. All right, let's continue. While you guys are already typing to chat, again, feel free to introduce yourself just to tell us about what you're studying. Bachelor of IT, Bachelor of Finance, and I'm from, I don't know, Korea, I'm from Brazil. So it'll be good for you just to keep the chat going here. Okay, dokie. Thanks, Valerie. Great to know you're studying bachelor degree in nursing. You're from Malaysia. Yes, great. I know we do have quite a student from diverse backgrounds, students from nursing, IT, and also master degree. I know that we do also have some PhD candidates joining us too. I'm very keen to know where you guys from and also what you're studying right now. We have international law student, great to know, Bangladesh. Yes. Hello, Danilo. Yes, IT student. Architecture students, we have engineering students, quite diverse, which is great here. Yeah, we have a cybersecurity, environment. Perfect. Okay, while we're still having this chat going, feel free to again type into chat about what brought you to today's session, what specific question you might wanted to ask, or what is the one thing that you're really unsure about finding work experience or internship. So feel free to type it into chat, because I'm going to keep an eye on the chat just to make sure that what I'm presenting today are relevant to you, and also make sure that I will be able to provide some tailored advice and strategies and tips to you throughout my presentations. Okay, I can see that we already have one good question here from Jus. Can I work while I'm on bridging visa? Which is good questions, which I'm going to address that throughout my presentation about understanding your working right eligibility as well, within the relevant context of what we're talking about, which is finding a work experience and internship. And Matara wanted to know today how to successfully apply to the, we are going to have a specific session about how to find a job later this Thursday, which will be presented by my colleague Belinda. So if those of you who haven't had a chance to sign up for that session, make sure you actually go to Career Hub and register for that session, which is, we're going to specifically talking about how to find your job, paid job in Australia too. Great, I can see the great question coming along. I'm just going to make sure that I come back to the chat and then we will make sure that we address that throughout my presentation. Okie dokie. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to quickly launch a quick poll. So this is going to be interesting experience for you guys as well in this online webinar. So I'm just going to launch 2 quick questions for you to answer. I'm just going to launch now. And you will be able to see the poll now. I'm just going to give you maybe 40 seconds. So if you can just to think about it, these 2 quick questions, and just to tick the box on the relevant one. And I just wanted to make sure that your name won't be recorded. This is an anonymous survey, so you don't need to worry about it. I'm just really keen to know about where you are at in terms of, I guess, your the plans to move forward to pursue your employment opportunity, but also how important to you was work experience opportunity in Australia when you actually made a decision to come here and pursue your study. Great, I can see that people start typing, completing your survey here. We already have 20 responses, so we might just wait for a few more seconds for other people to finish the survey too, and then I'll close the poll survey soon so that everyone can share this result all together. We got 24 responses, great. Okay, I might just close the poll now so that we can just to keep moving, but I'm just going to close the survey so that we can share the result. Yes, I can see we have a 73% students here, 73% answer. Very important. Wow, so quite good to know that it was quite a big decision-making factor for you guys when choosing to study Australia. Great. Okay. Wow, and second question, the majority of you say that you want to pursue your permanent residency and work in Australia. Great to know. And some answers here, I want to pursue employment opportunity in Australia after study, but you may return home. It's great to know. Thanks for those who contributed to this survey questions.
Sorry to interrupt.
Apologies, everyone. I'm not sure what happened. I just got kicked out of this webinar for no reason. I didn't click anything. I just got jumped out. So I'm not sure what happened. So let me just continue here. Sorry for these little interruptions. Can everybody just give me thumbs up again if you can hear me, see my screen okay, so we can just continue? Perfect. Thanks, everybody. I don't know what happened. It's quite weird. I just got kicked out. Okay, so I'll just continue. Okay, dokis. Now we're going to move on to the actual part of what we're going to talk about today. Tell me actually if this is you. We often see students come and see us, say that, hey, Mooney, I can't actually land the internship because every time I speak to employers, they say, I really do require experience. But I know that if I need I need an internship to get an experience, that's the starting point. But I need an experience to actually get an internship. So it's quite confusing, isn't it? We are thinking the egg or chicken first. It's kind of catch-22. For you to have experience, you need to have experience. Tell me if this is you, or you may have thought about this before, right? So the loophole also I often see from students is that while I really need experience to get an experience, however, it's quite difficult for me to get an experience in Australia. So often students may decide to go and find private agency where they may charge you, I don't know, $2,000, $3,000 for you to help you to find an internship for you. So they may help you to fix your resume on your behalf, things like that. But I'm not saying that you shouldn't go with that option. That's not what I'm trying to say here. But you may miss the opportunity to actually develop a range of different valuable skills. Things like networking with the professionals and learning how to promote yourself, or knowing what you actually really want for your future career. Or because at the end of the day, we know that the actual job is not going to be landed on your lap automatically. So how do we actually go about gaining experience? Yeah, I can see that a few people agree with me, completely same situation, even for volunteering. I know even sometimes applying for volunteering can be quite competitive. I can see there's one student, put your hands up. Jigme, is that because you had a question? I'm gonna pause for a second. Jigme, not sure if you had a questions to ask me. To put your hands up. No? Okay, let me continue. Okay, though. So what we're going to cover today is how to find workplace experience without experience Australia. So what I'm going to cover today is to really help you to understand different types of work experience opportunity you can pursue that are very common in Australia, and also some of the key benefits for you as a student, but also think about from employers' point of view, why do they want to offer the internship experience for students? So you can start thinking about from their point of view too. And where to find those work experience opportunities in Australia. And then I'm going to also share some online guidelines, some tools and online website resources that you want to utilize to support you as well. Okie dokie. So let's start by understanding the definition. What is actually the work experience? What is actually workplace experience? So here are two definitions I'd like to introduce to you, which is work experience is educational learning activities in both formal and informal, and I also put the workplace bracket settings that provide opportunity to use knowledge you have learned from study. You want to apply it in a real world environment. The reason why I put the bracket there, workplace, because internship nowadays can also happen online. That really break the geographical barriers. You might want to find companies from Sydney or New South Wales, Victoria, somewhere where you might want to conduct some virtual internship as well. That's why I put the bracket there. However, the other definition, which is my favorite definition, I really want to highlight for you here, which is the win-win partnership between the students and the host organization. Because when we're often talking about workplace experience, it's really important to understand it's actually two-way processes, because it's really reciprocal relationships in give and take, which means that you will get the most value if you have good value to give back to workplace as well. It's really about the commitment, both the learner, you, and also the instructor, host organization. So what's actually in for students and recruiter? we really start thinking about what are the benefits I really need to take into consideration as a student, but also what's actually in for employers and supervisors as well. So for you, as a student point of view, some of the benefits you want to consider, it's really a good chance for you to show what you're capable of and actually who you are. When you go through the actual very competitive job applications for your future graduate jobs, sometimes, if you're missing the first round of application, you're losing the chance to actually show how awesome you are, how capable you are. So by having the internship or work experience opportunity, you're already having the chance to demonstrate what you're actually capable of and your strengths and your unique skills you might already have possessed as well. And also workplace experience is really good way for you to get a taste of the job that you might want to pursue in long run. And also get a really good insight into the skills and the Australian employers are actually looking for within your desired area of field. Also really good way for you to ensure the employment careers that you want to pursue, which also may lead to potential employment outcomes, not necessarily every opportunity, but which may lead to some potential employment outcomes as well. So for your benefit, it's really about it's a good way to test a role, a career that you really wish to be in. So it's really good to trial the career aspiration that you're having at the moment. But of course, most importantly, it's a good chance for you to build your confidence and understanding Australian professional business and workplace culture as well. What about for supervisor or employer's point of view? You may have heard about this term, which is called try before you buy strategies. So the employers want to use this internship program opportunity as a way to really engage graduate talents. Because you know what, they really want to start looking for quite talented graduates that they may want to contribute to work in their organizations. The other motivation for them is they simply want to provide really good mentorship opportunity for students here, because they know they already been in their shoes, they really want to provide some really good meaningful learning opportunity and mentorship guidance for students. Or also some people may have motivation of using this internship to teach you guys as part of their own professional development opportunity for themselves. So that way they know how to provide some really good nurturing opportunity or learning experience for students as well. But also from organization business point of view, it's really good way for them to bring the diversity of thinking, the ideas into organization. Good thing about you as an international student, you kind of will prove that you do have really good international perspective, the fact that you actually come from different diverse cultural background, that you're coming here, you sort of already proved that you do really understand the really good way of looking at different world, and also showing your adaptability, things like that as well. What about the other types of work experience? So we've got to think about it. When we're talking about workplace experience, what are the specific types of work experience that are quite common here in Australia? So I'm just going to quickly nail down that a little bit different type of work experience you can consider. First one, I know we had a few students asking about how to find a job in Australia, which is going to be covered in detail this Thursday webinar here. But I just quickly wanted to mention type number one, part-time casual work. You may have heard about this term quite often. Part-time casual work is also one type of work experience you pursue. And I would like to also highlight that international student, you are able to work up to 48 hours per fortnight during your study period. Excuse me. And also unlimited hours during study breaks. So it's quite important you understand your eligibility requirements here. Which also leads to one question that we had here earlier. Am I able to work during the bridging visa? Of course, my advice to you, first of all, check again your visa confirmation, the email you actually received from the Department of Home Affairs, because that documentation is going to give you very specific information about your working right. But my understanding, even during your bridging visa, the Department of Home Affairs will allow you to have a valid working right, but make sure you revisit your documents so that you can actually clarify the information. Okay, so benefit, of course, you will access to potential referees. For those of you who don't know what referee means, is that normally when you're applying for a professional job in Australia, putting really strong referee on your resume is quite important. At the end of your application process, your employer may call your referee on your behalf, asking about your characteristics and what your working relationship was with the referee. So in Australian culture, having really good positive referees that you can represent on your application is quite important as well. and also building your Australian employment history as you having different part-time casual work experience. But it's a really good chance for you to increasing your new knowledge, understanding what it's like working in the Australian workplace environment in practice. How do you communicate, deal with different local customers in different settings? And also a good way for you to develop different interpersonal skill, transferable skill, things like customer service, conflict resolution, even money handling, how to handle money, and the computer or basic telephone skills as well. Volunteering is also a good way here, different types of work experience. Volunteering is a really good way to engage in local community clubs or society. We can be even sporting organization, local schools, different community groups, or faith-based community as well. It's unpaid because you are working for non-for-profit organization as a volunteer. Key benefit you could think of, definitely get some really good valuable experience skill, which looks great on your resume, because volunteering is a really good way to build up your confidence and develop a range of different skills. And that's what employers actually looking for. They're looking for students who engage in their local community and who can really demonstrate different skills such as initiative, teamwork, cultural fit, or your communication skill, things like that. For those of you who really want to practice your communication, doing the volunteering is such a good way for you to develop your confident English language skills, interpersonal skills as well, because you know what? You're going to integrate yourself with such a diverse range of people, different age background, different ethnicity backgrounds as part of volunteer as well. And what are the other types of work experience you could consider? You may already heard about this terminology, which is called work integrated learning. We often call WIL in short term. So work integrated learning is quite common concept in the Australian education system. It's an education training program, and it's embedded in your academic program or course. So it really can be different forms of internships or real-world project, or it can be simulated workplace experience as well. So depending on what degree program we're talking about, I know we do have students from all different disciplinary background. The application process for your placement is really depending on what placement internship we're talking about and so what degree programs we're talking about. So it's always important for you to check your school faculty to see what kinds of work integrated learning elements is actually embedded in your degree program, so you can actually check what's in it and also understanding your eligibility and how to apply as well. Key benefit, of course, accessing your disciplinary specific knowledge to professional tasks. You're going to develop a range of different transferable skills like problem solving. You have to also do some teamwork there, and ability to communicate with people in diverse roles. And of course, you'll enhance your digital literacy skills as well. And I'm going to move on to paid internship because I know it now is April, which is also called vacation program recruitment season, which is called in Australia here. So people may already heard about paid internship, or you might already put your application there, paid internship. So I'm just going to quickly mention to you about what paid internship we are talking about. It's very common, especially when we're talking about a large organization in Australia, because that can lead to also graduate role or some types of entry-level positions as well. Bear in mind that it can be very competitive because it's formally advertised to everybody. And also normally, depending on what company industry we're talking about, the company may target the students who are in their second last year of the studies as well. And of course, it's usually a very formal and fixed period. It can be up to 2 months to 3-4 months, depending on, the company's requirements here. The benefit from company point of view, they want to offer these kinds of opportunity because, again, we're talking about try before you buy strategy. They want to test who you are, how talented you are before they buy you, before they get you to actually on board into the organizations. And it's really good way for you to try as well. You can try the company, you can try the company culture, you can try the culture fit, you can actually try what kinds of people working there. So you kind of road test of the role and career that you really want to be in long run, and building your confidence and technical skills as well. The third one I'd like to mention here, which is work experience, non-credible. So it's a voluntary unpaid work experience to gain practical experience that relevant to your study still. And you can also directly find your own employer who are willing to offer good learning opportunity for you. So unlike working together learning, which is the formal part of your education program within your degree. Students and also work experience provider, they are free to enter into non-credible work experience arrangement without involving university. Because nothing's going to stop you to get out of your comfort zone and then finding your opportunity if you want to. Why not, right? However, in order for Griffith University's insurance to apply, university can also offer agreement form, which you can be signed, supported by your program convener or director, just to make sure you are the main person who get the benefit academically from the experience too, which I'm going to share the online resource to you as well later within this presentation slide. Normally, work experience can be up to 30 days within a year. You might want to arrange one a day, maybe twice a day, depending on, I guess, how much commitment you can make for the organization because it's unpaid. Regardless of what types of work experience we're talking about, work experience internships are such a great way for you to really kickstart your career because as you know, you're going to learn the skills and the job, the demand, and you're going to get exposure to actually real work in your chosen field as well. Okay, question about summer, winter internship. Has anybody heard about summer or winter internship? Do you know what it is? If you can type in the chat yes or no, or put your hands up, thumbs up. Just want to know, okay? Which I can explain to you today. Because it might be a little bit of a strange concept to you, understanding about what summer internship we're talking about. Okay. No? I'm glad that you are in this session. I can explain to you about what it is. Great. Awesome. So for those of you who are not fully familiar with this word, summer internship or winter internship, we often call it summer vacational or clerkship, things like that. So this also have a quite strict application deadline or also when it's the right time for you to apply. So what you will start thinking about is you can do internship anytime in your studies as long as you meet the eligibility requirements. So summer internships are usually longer. That organization generally offer longer period over summer internships. So summer internship, winter internship program are quite common from large organizations. They may have a really formal application process, recruitment process with a strict deadline. So it's very important for you to know when you need to start looking for this program because each company or industry have different deadline, different recruitment timeline. So it's really need to know about when you start looking for and how. A summer vacation program application in Australia usually open from early March, which is now, April now, to late August. And the exact, of course, application dates may change from year to year and also differ depending on what company's industry we're talking about. Also, winter vacation program application usually open between February to March. And then are often filled up on rolling basis. So rolling is a rolling basis. Once the demand has been made, then the application may close. So if that is the case, make sure you get your application in as early as you can. So in terms of the duration of the internship, for summer internship, as you probably, for those of you who've been living here more than 1 year, you probably already experienced the summer vacation in Australia very long, right? Starting from November, December, January. It's quite long, very hot summer break here in Queensland. So summer internship can run for up to 3 months. As I mentioned, longer period, and winter internship normally shorter. So usually run between 4 and 6 weeks. And as you can imagine, if it's a large organization that everybody knows the company's name, it can be quite extremely competitive and popular. So it's quite important you know how to apply and you don't miss the deadline, of course. And then you can always come and see us asking some help on how you can put together best competitive application as well. Some little tips here. You might want to keep the internship listing archive somewhere so you can actually start getting some idea about what kinds of internship roles actually available during summer vacation season or winter vacation season if that's what you're looking for. Okay. Apart from internship, what other opportunities should I look for and when? It's very common in Australia, again, some large company is that they do also offer different types of very exciting competitions or projects that you can actually get involved as part of more extracurricular sort of activities you can do here. This is one really exciting opportunity. I know we do have some students from tourism, hotel management backgrounds here. It's Echo, which is really well-known global 5-star hotel brand. The application unfortunately closed. It was registration was up to yesterday, but I just wanted to present this one as an example so you can start looking for that in the future. So things like that, they're offering some global competition where they are throwing a bunch of global issues, challenge topic. Oh, excuse me, topics that you can work on, and you can presenting your idea about how you can actually best address their specific global challenges, issues that they care about as an eco brand. Oh, excuse me. Goodness me. And if you win this competition, you will have a chance to travel to Paris as well. So things like that. So this is also a good way for you to get yourself exposed to the industry or career that you want. You can get involved there. I'm not sure if this is a mistake. What I can see, Dawn, who raised your hands up? It's because you had a question. Do you want to unmute yourself? I might just pause. Yes, you can unmute and then ask a question. By the way, for those who type into chat and ask a question, I'm not ignoring your chat. We're going to have time to come back to the question and addressing that in the proper time. Yeah, don't feel free to tell me what you're after. You can unmute yourself. Okay, so you're probably asking about that the echo competition. Your mic is not working, no worries. This is actually for any disciplines, really. There's no strict to a certain discipline. It's really, you just need to check your website to see what kinds of specific global challenge topics they are presenting to candidates. You just need to pick and choose a topic that you're interested in, and you need to come up with a really good idea about how you can, I guess, come up with a really good solutions, or really good idea about how this company or brand can tackle that global challenge. There's no discipline limitations. So some students from tourism or hotel background may be interested in, but even though you're not tourism hotel background, you might be interested in getting involved in some global challenge issue that might be of your interest. Okay, hope that answers your questions. And it's another example of the Deloitte, which is a very well-known international accounting firm, so as you will know here. So they are also having quite similar case competition like that. Application closed last week, but this is again another example. You can keep an eye on things like that. Okay, so things to consider here. Things to consider when it comes to looking for internship work experience. Unpaid. Unpaid, yes, you're right. Application close. Yeah, it's 10th of April. Still great. So then you might want to give it a try. We still got 2 days here. Again, I'm going to share this presentation slides for those of you who are interested in these kinds of competitions in this major company. You can actually have a look at their website and see if you want to if this is something that you want to give it a try. And so again, back to the work experience internship. Things to consider. Unpaid work experience internship is totally okay. It's quite common concept here in Australia. If it's on the student academic program, like a working together learning, or if there's no employment relationship, then unpaid work experience internship can be seen normal things to do. So it's important for you as a student to know what is normal, what is not normal, which I'm going to mention a little bit more detail in my next slide. But also you got to think about it. Okay, if I want to start looking for work experience internship, probably you want to start doing some basic homework, start thinking about which company or organization you actually want to reach out. Do they even have an online presence like a website? Do they actually have physical premises? Where are they located, right? Also understanding about their business history. What is their core business? You don't want to rock up there, give me internship without knowing actually what they do, right? But also it's important for them to find some really good suitable industry mentor who is actually willing to use their reasonable endeavor, time, effort for providing meaningful, appropriate learning experience for you. And also basic workplace induction, of course, when you go there, you want to feel part of a team. So if we are expecting the company should give you some really basic workplace induction process, workplace safety, confidentiality, things like that. I just want to quickly mention about here, actually, how do I know about what is normal, what is not normal, understanding about what can be seen as a really good work experience, what can be seen as an employment relationship. So unpaid work experience or internship can be okay, as I mentioned, if, again, this is part of the student vocational program, if there's no employment relationship. So how you can actually figure out what employment relationship looks like when one exists. Things that you can look at include what was actually agreed to between you and the supervisor, and what was the reason for the specific arrangement of task, and how long was the arrangement, because obviously you don't want to be intern for like 6 months or forever. What was the actual reasonable agreement of the period that you agreed between yourself and the supervisor, and how important was the work to the business, and what work is the person actually doing, who's getting the most benefit. Of course, while each case must be considered on its own facts, what is important is that make sure you check the Fair Work Ombudsman government website. They provide a range of different resources, information for you to build your knowledge, to understanding about your work entitlement, and understanding about the definition of work experience and internship in Australia. The Fair Work Ombudsman government agency, they recommends that students must not be doing productive work that contribute to obviously the income or generating revenue of the company. Also, the main benefit of arrangement should be you, students, rather than the provider, the company. And also, it must be very clear that student is receiving the really meaningful learning experience, training, and skill development. Again, the very first part of the definition I mentioned about is educational opportunity, isn't it, for you? So how do I actually know about understanding the concept of work experience internship in Australia better? Make sure you familiarize yourself with what's normal, not normal, and make sure that you're complying with the current Fair Work Ombudsman guidelines on paid or unpaid work experience. I did include the hyperlink here in this resource. You can actually utilize this information in your own time. But also, as I mentioned, non-credited work experience, Griffith University providing really good specific guideline for you, so you can utilize this form, understanding about your responsibility too. Where to find the workplace experience opportunity, where? So here are some recommendations on where you can start actually looking for work experience opportunity that are advertised in Australia. So Grad Australia, Postball is quite very well-known website as well you can look for. You will be able to find your discipline-specific opportunities there. And Grad Connection is also another good source as well. You might want to start looking for some more specialized job search websites, specific companies' website, especially if you're interested in looking at their vacation program, summer vacation, winter vacation program. You can also look for the industry-related websites as well, and some professional association website. I don't know, if you're an engineer student, look at the Engineer Australia, which is the peak professional association website in Australia, things like that. Forage is really good. It's a free virtual work experience program. So even though you haven't had the direct experience yet, you can actually do some virtual work experience just using the simulated platform here, which is free subscription. So you can utilize these kinds of platform as well, Forage. And Study Gold Coast, you may have heard about this one. Study Gold Coast is really well-known peak governing body of international education based on the Gold Coast. So they are doing brilliant job supporting international students to access different work experience opportunities as well. So if you look at their website, you will be able to see a specific page where they do advertise a range of different activities, opportunity you may want to apply for. And Career Hub, which is the platform that Griffith University offer, you may be able to see some paid internship there or casual jobs and part-time jobs that we advertise on behalf of industry partners. Or industry partner, they will be able to advertise some job directly using this Career Hub platforms too. If you're first year or second year, if you have some free elective choice available, you might be interested in looking at Griffith's community internship, which is very well-known internship as well. It's a really good way for you to know how to interact with the Australian community setting. By doing this internship, you get a point and credit, so you might be interested in looking at that website to find out more as well. I did include some main Griffith University webpage at the end, so you will be able to see what kinds of internship working to learning opportunity that you can actually find out within your academic program, but also outside of your academic programs too. But if you're really proactive, start thinking about creating your own work experience opportunity, thinking about visiting your home countries. If you're thinking about that during your break time, some students may want to go back to your home country during your vacation. I know I often see students during the vacation, I would rather just catch up with my family's friend, which is fine. But have a think about it, how you can actually make the most out of the break time, still doing some meaningful work experience in your home country. If that is of your interest, we do also have this really good online platform. As far as you have Griffith University S number, you can utilize this website using your S number login detail. You will have the subscription up to 4 months after graduate. You can utilize Going Global online platform, which really helps you understand, get some information about job or internships, their career insight, depending on which countries you're interested in. There are over 50 different countries career-related information you can search there, so you can utilize this Going Global platforms too. But have a think about it, maybe searching some bilateral business council or chamber of commerce to see if you can tap into their network as well. I know if you're from Colombia, if there's any Australia, Colombia Chamber of Commerce, you can actually get involved to see if there's any work experience, volunteer opportunity, you can get involved, things like that. But also, maybe you might want to sign up for some newsletter they're providing through Queensland Trade. I know you might want to sign up for newsletter that I offer from Australia, China Chamber of Commerce. So I had a chance to travel China last year, which was my first time traveling there as part of my work trip. I found the signing for newsletter it was quite helpful for me to know who I need to network with, who can really help me to support my project, things like that. So that might be a really good way for you to also start looking for finding some work experience opportunity. Career Hub, this is Career Hub. Career Hub is your one-stop shop platform for employment tools and events and resources. But also this is a platform that you can start looking for a range of different jobs, as I mentioned. But how you can actually use this tool more effectively, you might want to start looking for some past employers for your field of study degree. So you can just click search more options, and you can even include some expired jobs. So you might not want to apply for a job right now, but you might be interested to see if you can target some company you might want to look for work experience opportunity. And you can have a look at some previous archive of the job that we advertised in the past, just to get your head around what kinds of company that have been listed in the past. This is what it looks like when you log into Career Hub. You will be able to see the jobs. You will be able to search different organizations and a range of different career development skills, workshops, and events we offer. This is also part of the workshop that we advertise in this page as well. And you can also make a one-on-one appointments with us. I might just pause here for now. I know we talked a range of different detailed informations. Yes, the slide will be available after presentation. We will share that, which I mentioned at the beginning. I might just quickly go over the chat to see if there are specific questions that I can address now. So we're just going to spend 5-10 minutes just to address some questions before I get into the actual practical part of how you can actually approach your organization and start creating some work experience opportunity. So bear with me for a few minutes. I'm just going to quickly check the chat to see if I can address some specific questions. And some questions that have been asked by our students here might be the question you also have thought about it at the same time. So it's good to address that while we've got everyone here all together. Okay, Matara, how to successfully apply to a job in Australia? Good questions. First one that I want to mention to you, we are offering this specific session, how to apply for a job in Australia, as I mentioned, this Thursday. So don't miss out the opportunity. If you can't make it the workshops, online workshop, you might have clash with your lecture. Don't worry, as far as you register, we will be able to share the recording and presentation slide as well. But you're always more than welcome to come and see us one-on-one appointments. We can talking about job search strategy. But part of what I'm covering, of course, talking about internship work experience, but some strategy which I'm going to talk now later is also maybe relevant to some skills you might want to develop even for looking for jobs as well. It's it can be quite relevant. So just to bear with me for another half an hour here. So I'm going to talking about how to actually approach your organization and look for opportunity. Genoveva, I have been applying for job to gain experience, but because my visa condition is pretty hard. Yeah, it's hard to know without knowing what specific visa conditions you're talking about. But if this is about your ability to be able to communicate your visa condition working right to your organizations, this Thursday we are going to teach you how to communicate your visa condition working right to employers. Because not every employer will be familiar with your visa situation. They're not working from Department of Home Affairs. It's quite important for you to know how to communicate that with confidence in the manner that makes sense to employers. So this Thursday, we are going to also give you some practical tips on how you can communicate that one too. Victor, I'm in my first trimester in my second year master program, okay? You want to know when is the best time to apply for internship. I think I covered that one as well when we're talking about the winter and summer internship, if we were talking about the internship that are formally advertised from company. But if you are talking about looking for work experience, non-credit, there's no timeline, you know. You might just want to create your own opportunity to see if there's any mentor professionals who are willing to give you some opportunities. So depending on your availability and also the employer's availability. Okay. Oops, I just moved my mouse. I'm just gonna scroll down a little bit more. Okay, Annie, how should I do for doing work experience course? How to search workplace? Okay, how to search workplace in Australia. I think I mentioned about Career Hub, which is really good resource. You can search, because sometimes it might be very hard for you to know about what the company's name, what kinds of organizations actually there in Australia. So using that company job directory is a really good way for you to start creating your awareness about different industry or business or companies that are existing in Australia. How should I do for your work experience course? Feel free to use my presentation slide when I share the copy, because I include the hyperlinks to the website, Griffith University website, where you can see the range of different work experience, work integrated learning courses that are available within your degree program. How to approach company to get an internship. Great, Jeremy. I'm going to cover that one in second half of my presentation, so stay tuned. Okay, Danilo. I've been very active on LinkedIn and other job websites, but I rarely see something about placement. It's more about graduate jobs. I would like to get advice. Very good questions. And because sometimes when you're looking for advertisement, there's very limited opportunity, right? So how do I actually start looking for placement? How can I actually tap into the hidden opportunities, which I'm going to focus on in my second half of presentation. Very good questions. Jeremy, again, where can I look apart from this is specific to my degree internship? Feel free to use my presentation, the slide that I'm again mentioning about where to look for a job. I mentioned about the Great Australia, Great Connections. Also, you are more than welcome to look for the company's specific website and to see if there's any specific opportunity you can tap into. Scroll. Dawn, would you recommend any for Bachelor of Criminology? I don't know if you can elaborate them a little bit more, that'll be helpful so that I understand what you're actually asking. Are these internships also compatible for Australian citizens? Compatible for Australian citizens? Of course. I guess the strategy that I'm talking about is compatible for any students, regardless of your background or degree program. But I thought that it'd be good to provide some special session exclusively for international students who may have some shared concerns and different some unique needs that you might want to be specifically addressed from my sessions today. But all the strategy we're talking about, how to look for a job, where to look for opportunities, is definitely compatible for Australian domestic students too. Slide will be shared. Just keep an eye on your university email inbox, because I'm going to share that in my post-webinar email, just to check your university email inbox. Can I know where can I find you one-on-one appointment? How can I contact you, book an appointment? Yes, I'm going to mention that in my second half of presentation as well. We do have include QR code, so make sure just keep an eye and stay tuned with me. I can work up to 24 hours per week. Yes, that's right. You can only work for 24/7, but we are talking about internship. So we don't expect you to be an intern for full time, because that's not, because you obviously need to be mindful of you are full-time university students as well. So in that context, we're talking about 1 day or 2 days, or depending on, I guess, what was agreed between you and your internship supervisor. Just being an international student, bracket immigrant, is a limitation. How can we deal with this? Depending on what specific limitations we are talking about, because so there are what specific barriers, limitation we're talking about. But I guess the second half of presentations really help you know how you can actually break the whatever limitation or challenge you might have. And then as an international student, you can tap into some hidden opportunity. So I'm going to mention about the strategy and how to choose your approach. Don, is there any particular internship for criminology that you might personally know? Not that I could think of right now straight away, but I've seen a lot of students from criminology, depending on what area of criminology you're talking about. There are a range of different volunteering opportunity, work experience opportunity you can do. I don't know, you might want to go to one of the Queensland PCYC community center to see if you can volunteer there. So I guess depending on what specific area of criminology you're interested in, and then from there, you got to think about it, what kinds of exposure I want to have and what experience of people who can help me to pursue my career goals. So you come and see me, I'm more than happy to offer one-on-one career appointment for you. Okay, last question before I move on to second half of presentation. What kinds of valuable skill set could we bring to our specific internship from our degree and make ourselves more remarkable? Very good questions. Okay, let's cover that one in our second half of presentation, how to demonstrate yourself. Great. Okay, so bearing in mind, so because some of your questions will be addressed in my second half of presentation. Let's dig into it. Okay, so choosing your approach. I know we're talking about I'm an international student, I have limitations, I have no idea how to look for a job. Have a think about it, having a right approach, it can simply help you to break the barrier. So here is a two different approach. Somebody who may decide to take traditional approach, and the other student who might want to take straight to shortlist approach. I'm going to mention about traditional approach. Here are some examples. If you decide to take some traditional approach, you are falling into the competition that are only available for 20% of advertised opportunities. So whether or not you're international migrant or domestic Australian citizen is competitive anyway, because you are really exposing yourself to the competition that only offer 20% of advertised position. So limitation, well, some advertised position, they might say, international, domestic students only, permanent residency only. There's a straight away limitation that is out of your control. Or you also need to make sure you have really competitive resume. Okay, that can be the limitation if you don't have any competitive resume, because they need to go through the first half of application as a competitive application process. And you also need to compete with somebody who you don't know who you're competing with. If it's a marathon, you can analyze your competitor before you get into the competition. But job application, you simply don't know who you're competing with. So it's quite challenging, isn't it? There's another limitation over there. And then after you pass your resume first application, you still need to go through some interview process. That can be also limitation if you're not really prepared interview. So there are a lot of limitations there. Let's say that you are going through the advertised opportunity, getting to 20% of advertised position. There's one bloody lucky person, unicorn, and there's one really successful international student who gets scored the opportunity the traditional way, which is very bizarre. I'll be very surprised if we see that. Students, this is my first lifetime opportunity, and then I just got the opportunity straight away. I don't know how many students actually have that just one go and the success straight away. That'll be very bizarre, unusual, lucky unicorn. So if you're not the one very lucky bizarre unicorn, then what should you do? You should go through the repeated waiting game. The rest of students go to, okay, when this employer is going to contact me, I have no idea, constant waiting games, and you just need to go through the same process again. You just fall into the black hole, rejections and silence, isn't it? No, tell me if you have experienced that. I have experienced that when I was an international student a long time ago too. However, if you're talking about non-traditional approach here, straight to shortlist, this is a really good chance for you to create meaningful network, because that's going to help you to access more than 80% of hidden opportunity. So you're really getting out of the limited 20% opportunity over there. And the bonus point here, also you will build your confidence, and also really chance for you to improve skills on how to approach organization, things like that. how you might want to reach out to an organization directly asking for a coffee catch-up. Hey, Jeremy, my name is Mooney. I'm studying criminology, and I noticed that you are working in this company, working in the cybersecurity project manager. I just wanted to see if I can have a quick coffee catch-up with you, just learn a little bit more about what you do in your role, and then to see if there's an opportunity that you could offer. I'm just going to quickly see who is unmuting. There's a background noise. I'm just going to quickly see if I can mute yourself. Okay, done. Okay, so that way you are having a coffee catch-up person number 1, you're another coffee catch-up person number 2, person 3, person 4. You are already building 4 different connections here, and then you might also get a referral from this person, get another referral from this person. You're really building your network connections broadly here in Australia. Such a proactive action, and then furthermore, bonus point, you will get access to 80% of opportunity that is hidden. Yeah, so have a think about it. What approach do you want to constantly fall into waiting game without knowing what outcome will be, and then fall into black hole of constant rejection and silence? Or would you rather take some proactive approach where you are getting out of your comfort zone and then meeting as many people as possible, which will give you some high chance to access 80% of hidden opportunity by simply creating your own network and taking your initiative? Okay, have a think about that. So, work experience approach, self-source, advertised position. Self-source, you bring your own opportunity, can take effort, of course. I'm not saying it's easy, takes time, but you can create a really good tail opportunity. It can be quite advantageous to your career ambition because you're simply leveraging your connection that you build up on your own, okay? From the people that you build a really good relationship with. Advertised position, the participation relies on being successful of the application. So what if your application is not successful, right? Also, you require have approved some kinds of projects there. So you need to make sure that you need to meet the requirement of the companies, because it's a set expectation and set requirement, and you need to follow the requirements there. Regardless, 70% of the job that they are not advertised, it's come from hidden roles. Have a think about it, how you can actually maximize your chance to get into that 70% of possibility there, right? So if you're talking about from this point of time now, probably you will start understanding the concept of networking, why it matters here. So I'm just going to give you a little bit more tips on networking. It's about who you know here. Some tips and do and don'ts. When you're networking with the people, reaching out to professional, I don't want you to actually asking the job straight away, because that's not going to make a good impression either, because that person didn't have a chance to know who you are, what kinds of skills you have, what kinds of strengths you have. You kind of want to show your genuine curiosity to get to know about the person's role, the company. So do not ask for jobs straight away. You can just reach out to them. Hey, I actually want to learn more about the field of blah, blah, blah. So showing your genuine efforts first to get to know about the person. If you want to be interested in, then you need to show your interest to the person first. And then you can also ask for a referral. Thank you so much for your chat. Or do you know somebody in this field? Or would you be able to give me a referral to somebody who's working in this project? You can ask for a referral as well. Where are the actual networking opportunities then in Australia while you're studying? For those of you who might have attended Career Fair, which was already happening in Nathan campus last month, Career Fair, we do have over 70 different employers came to campus, Nathan campus. It was a really good chance for our students to network with different employers, asking a bunch of questions and question things like, does your organization offer some internship program? If so, when is the right time for me to apply? So this is part of networking activity you can do, but you can also keep an eye on the Career Hub event. This is really good for you to network with different professional people as well. We do also have a Griffiths Industry Mentoring Program. Really good way for you to match up with the mentor, and you're really building really good, meaningful experience, and they help you to get some career clarity moving forward. But nothing's going to stop you to be proactive, searching your own industry-specific networking event. If there's any event that you can join for free, if there's an online webinar, you can join for free. Why not? Creating your own opportunity. Of course, you need to search different types of organization you want to approach. You want to be targeted. And then you want to know who is actually appropriate key contact. You can start making a list, okay, so you can boost your best conversion right there, okay? I'm going to reach out to 3 organizations this week. And the next with your organizations, by the time you finished April, you already had a connection with, I don't know, more than 12 different organizations contact. So start making some achievable list of organization, appropriate key contacts you want to approach. Ensure you have understood general strategy, effective process before you're approaching the host organization. Again, do not just ask me jobs right away. Have a think about it. What is the effective general strategy you can approach there? And ensure that you can comfortably manage the workload of internship in addition to your study. Yes, I can do. I can come in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Is that really realistic for you while you're actually hitting your exam period where you got lots of pressure as well, right? And also discussing the organization timing of the internship to make sure that your organization is aware of your plan. One question we got here, when should I start internship? Again, if it's a really work experience opportunity you're creating on your own, it depending on what you agree with your organization. I'm actually available immediately right now because from December, I'm entering summer break, so I don't do anything. So I'm actually pretty much free, so I can start immediately if that is if that is true. Or actually, is that okay if I can start in 2 weeks' time? I just have to go back to my home country and then come back to Australia in 2 weeks' time. So depending on what your abilities are and what actually your host organization can accommodate for you. Make sure you prepare a really good resume cover letter to introduce yourself, in case your host organization want to ask you, okay, we may have some projects we can give it to you, but I just need to know your background, what you're studying. Can you give me your resume? They might ask you like that. So make sure you prepare your resume cover like that. What networks are you in? You want to start asking for your family, for friends, or even neighbor. You might, if you have a really good neighbor, living next to you who works in Queensland Health, and you're a nurse. You're asking about. I just noticed that you're working in Queensland Health. What do you do there? You cannot start having these kinds of conversation with your neighbor. Or your coworkers, if you're already working, having some part-time job at the moment. Hey, I'm actually I'm interested in looking for some work experience relevant to my study. Do you perhaps know anyone? You can ask these kinds of questions. Or university staff member, you can start asking your teaching staff member. And one gentleman asking about, do you know any criminology internship opportunity? Now you're asking this question. I'm gonna start thinking about that. If there's opportunities that I'm aware of, I might get back to you, right? So it's really important to asking the kinds of questions about what kinds of opportunity you might be aware of, things like that. Or why not? You can also reach out to alumni or previous former international students who happen to live here and then were already pursuing their really good employment opportunity. So why not you just reach out to alumni, whether or not it's former international students or domestic students, alumni member, to see what they're doing at the moment after they finish your degree program. LinkedIn contacts is really good, which I'm going to show you how you can actually search your alumni using the LinkedIn. Social contacts, if you go to gym, if you play social sports, that happens to me as well. When I got my first internship, I was volunteering in Brisbane baseball game, and then one of the referee actually was the person who gave me really good internship opportunities, which can happen like that. Even throughout your volunteering experience, you might be able to have really good person who can give you some information about internship opportunity, things like that. Okay, so how do I search LinkedIn? Search your alumni on LinkedIn. I'm not sure how many of you know the LinkedIn. For those of you, if this is first time hearing about LinkedIn, LinkedIn is by far the largest professional network platform you can tap into. The chances are the really reputable, successful professionals who are already working in your chosen field are very likely to have their LinkedIn profile. So why not you actually using these with such a great platforms that you can start tapping into those different contacts that you might want to start creating here. Another really good way you can do it, if you follow Griffith University page on LinkedIn, you can actually check in the alumni search function. And you can actually search different alumni depending on what keyword you're searching. And you'll be able to see the range of different beautiful alumni who are following our page. And then you can actually follow to see where they actually end up working. How to approach professional, how do I sell myself? We had these questions, and I'm just going to cover that a little bit more in my presentation now. So how to approach professional directly. Have a look at the example A and B. Have a think about what the differences are, okay? Example A, hey, I need to have work experience relevant to my degree. Please kindly reply, cheers. That's example A. Example B, dear blah, blah, blah. My name is blah, blah, blah. I'm a student in my final year, Bachelor of Business, Human Resource, Griffith University. And option number one, this is your strategy again. This is how the strategy comes in here. Option number one, I found your contact detail from XYZ, and I actually searched your profile through LinkedIn. Option number two, I was actually referred to you by Mr. blah, 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 from whom I understand you know as a result of your involvement with the basketball club or soccer club. Okay. Option number three, I'm currently working at the Dan Murphy as a casual staff member, and then I found your contact details through my staff member who actually worked with me on the same roster. Okay. So what these options do for you is that if I'm an employer receiving this email, I can see that you actually gone extra steps to understand what my company is doing, what projects that I'm working on, like that. Because you made efforts to tell me about how did you find me, what research you have done for me actually before you reach out to me. And then you're mentioning about call to action. I'm seeking information about the work of criminology. I'm seeking the information about the work of human resource management, blah, 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 with a view to expanding my knowledge of the range of options in this field. I was just wondering if it would be possible for me to meet with you just for a short time to ask some questions, to seek some answer to some questions I have heard about in this field in this area of professional practice. So once you have the opportunity to read this email, I'd love to have further conversation with you. Perhaps I'm happy to come to your office and have a coffee catch up. Again, we're talking about straight to shortlist approach here. Kindly go and make sure you put your phone number there. So if the person want to follow up with you, actually they know what your phone number is. So the difference between the approach A and candidate B, what you really want to do, if you just go generic email, okay, I'm probably thinking they're not really bothering putting any efforts to find out who I am and what I do. So, like you don't want to make kind of the impression where this is just one of the 100 emails you're generically sending, right? So you might want to start making some small amount of company first so that you can actually so you can have some more personal touch to each email rather than coming across like you're sending 100 different emails that this is just one of the random email that I'm getting here from you. So you don't want to make the kinds of impression here. Hopefully they give you really good some thoughts on how you can approach your organization. Another tips, how to approach your organization directly. You can make a phone call if you're confident, a cold call. But if you feel like you know who the person is, you might just want to send some appropriate email, depending on what strategy we're talking about. There's no wrong and right. Let's say that you're sending an email first. Then you, hi, blah, blah, blah. My name is blah, blah. I recently sent my email, blah, blah. I'm a structural engineer in my final year. I'm hugely passionate about becoming structural engineer, specializing XYZ. And I love to have the opportunity to get some work experience and help your team in where I can. You sort of show your genuine effort that you are willing to be part of their team because you want to help them. Why? Because you want to specialize in XYZ, which is what they're doing. I cannot ask who will be the best person to speak to. This can be a good strategy if you absolutely have no idea who is the actual appropriate contact person you need to reach out to. So you might just see the company's generic email, that reception email. You might want to just send an email, and that might be the good starting point for you to make sure you are in touch with the right person. Second approach, I'm a blah, blah, year student at Griffith University looking for internship opportunity in such an industry. I was hoping that if I could get some information about whether your company recruits intern and how the application works if you do. Thank you in advance for your help. And of course, you don't want to send this email if the information obviously on their website, okay? Then you just want to asking this question if you really can't any clue information about whether or not they're offering such an internship. Okay, this is one way for you to look into 80% of a hidden opportunity. Hope they gave you a little bit of strategy on how you can actually start approaching professional and looking for hidden opportunity. The really ground rule that I want to highlight here, do not afraid of chasing up, following up if they don't get back to you. Some people say, oh, Mooney, they don't really get back to you. I don't know if they're ignoring my email. We are talking about busy professionals. So simply, if they don't get back to you within 2, 3, 4 days, you just want to follow up. Hi, Jeremy, I'm just sending you my follow-up email to see if you had a chance to check my email. It would be appropriate if I can give you a call in the next couple of days. Simply just show how to follow up professionally. But the fine line though, between harassing people, why do you not get back to me? I can't believe you not get back to me. Make sure you find the fine line between harassing people and following up. Okay, so make sure and you give them some couple of days before you start chasing people like that. Okay, knowing your field of interest. You're talking about one of the students here asking about what kinds of valuable skill set could I actually bring to my specific internship here. So to answer to that question, the first step to you, knowing what your field of interest first. Okay, that way you know what are the relevant skills you need to demonstrate from that field of interest. So knowing your why, what you can actually contribute to the organization. Again, I mentioned about this two-way process. For you to know about what are the valuable skills the employer looking for, make sure you do research to really understand the industry and understanding the essential skills, knowledges that are required from the specific career field. Simply, you can look at for the website or just look at the existing job advertisement, job ad to see what are the specific skills they're looking for. And then consider the alignment with your current major or whatever your life previous experience you have, your existing strengths, skills, knowledge, and other factors that can match with what they're looking for. And that can support your professional development, career development objective as well. So make sure you prepare your resume cover letter introducing yourself, mentioning about this is my area of interest. I understand your companies are looking for people in these skills. And then from my previous, I guess, university experience, I've been always pursuing to develop my skills in this. And then when you're having a chance to have a coffee catch up, you can also discuss about some possible realistic scope of the internship tasks you can do. They don't expect you to have amazing 100% high level skills because we are talking about education training as a form of internship. So you can simply tell them, I really want to pursue my career goal as a structural engineer. I know one of the success factors for me to become an engineer is to be able to have these skills. For me to develop these skills, I really want to look for internships. So I just want to see what are the possible scope of internship tasks that I could work with you for me to achieve this goal. That's the way you actually communicate about what you really want to get out of the internships here. Articulate your interest and objective. So if you're talking about some advertised internship vacation program where you have to put together a pretty competitive application for a document like resume cover letter, this might be the really good strategy for you to utilize to see how you can actually articulate your interest and your internship objective. The main point here, you really want to show your passion and eagerness to learn, and being specific and tailored is the best. And also show you're open-minded, you're really willing to learn, you're really willing to have diverse experience. That's the beauty of having internship. You want to still continue to grow, you want to develop a range of new skills there. Some objectives, some examples here, depending on what your disciplines are. Or to learn, I want to do internship because I really want to learn the Australian local HR operation system. Over the last year, since I came to Australia, I've been really making effort to develop my interpersonal skills and demonstrate my ability to learn things quickly. From my recent university project in my first year, actually, I was doing this like that, okay? Or I really want to do the internship because I really want to develop professional skill in global nursing practice. That's why I chose to do nurse. From my recent placement experience in my third year, at the department, blah, 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 I was able to gain really good understanding of this. Now, while I'm having experience to move forward, I really want to have different placement in this, right? Or for me to obtain work experience opportunity in marketing or even field, because that's going to really help me to use my skill experience in promotional management destination. So you really got to specific about what area of interest you're talking about for you to pursue the types of internship. I really want to work in team-driven environment. That's going to provide me really know how to build strong relationship with different business stakeholders and clients, general publics. And I really want to seek for my long-term career in destination marketing, tourism field as well. Why? Because I really want to contribute to local, national, international presence and really contribute the positive impacts for the destination. So you see, it's a matter of really knowing what your specific area of interest are for you to pursue the internship, knowing your reason why you want to pursue the internship, whether or not this is to pursue your long-term career ambition or long-term career or short-term career ambitions, whatever. Show that what you're capable of with evidence as well. Of course, internship is your educational purpose, it's training purposes, but you still need to show what you're actually capable of doing the internship task, right? This is your chance to demonstrate your knowledge, skills that are relevant to the possible internship opportunity. So if you really struggle, what am I capable of? I have no idea, but I somehow need to demonstrate. Have a think about it. Thinking about some of the core subjects you already studied. That's a really good thing for you to demonstrate what you're capable of in your discipline. Okay, what are the subjects that I studied over the last 2 years, over the last 1 year in your current degree program? How that subjects that you study can be related to your professional, your preferred internship positions, right? What about the skills that you gain from extracurricular activity? Never underestimate the value of the skills you gain from extracurricular activity. Have you been involved in a student leadership program? Have you involved in a student volunteering program? Have you involved some different volunteering programs, things like that? You may also want to prepare some cover letter if you want to, if you really want to put a strong application there. This might be mandatory requirement if you're applying for advertised position. The reason for your interest in this particular organization. You got to definitely want to highlight in your cover letter for wanting to take on workplace experience and how you can actually contribute to that. In your cover letter, you also need to mention about the area of your specific disciplinary knowledge if you are applying for the internship that are relevant to what you've been studying so far. And then mentioning about your career objective, your interest. And make sure you highlight your ability to participate when you're available from Monday to Friday. I'm available from Monday to Wednesday, or also if they requiring the car, you got to mention about I'm able to drive, or if it's public transport is okay, then I can just take public transport to commute to your company. You got to think about this logistics arrangement as well, how you can actually get to the organization to do your internships. Okay, so how to approach your organization. Quick summary here. Knowing your why, what you can contribute to the organization. Make sure you get your competitive resume, cover letter ready to really highlight why you really want to apply for the internship opportunity. It requires time and effort, patience, but when it comes to following up, chasing up with the organization that you want to reach out to and you send the email to, just be respectful to the organization context as well. Remember I mentioned about the fine line between harassing people and chasing up there, and then check what other previous students say about it in your faculty. If there's any student who actually done the internship in the organization, hey, I heard about that you done internship last year. What was your experience like? You can ask the kinds of questions to your fellow students, who are ahead of you. Also, we are going to continue to offer a range of different career skills workshops, and this was the first part of the career skills workshop series that we're offering here. This Thursday, we're going to have another one, how to find a job in Australia as an international student. But also, we have a whole range of different careers topics as well. So make sure you don't miss out the opportunity. So other alternative options, how you can start developing your employability. This is the main platform, the website. You can start searching a range of different extracurricular activity, working to learning, different types of professional development activity you can pursue as far as you are studying here at Griffith University. Okay, so before I give you a little bit of some other introduction of the how to make appointment, all the upcoming career series, things like that, if you're really doubting yourself about, am I eligible? Am I really am I capable of doing that? If you're having a self-doubt, my answer to you, just apply, go for it. Because even if you didn't get that job, even if you didn't get that vacation program, you don't actually lose any. And also, even the part of going through the application process can be really good learning experience for you. So just don't give up and then keep applying, but make sure you know how to look for help and what kinds of resources that you can also utilize to make sure that you can keep moving forward. So we talked a lot of different information here. We're talking about understanding different types of work experience opportunity you can pursue in Australia. We're also mentioning about paid internship, working together learning, volunteering, part-time job, non-credit work experience. I'll also give you some practical tips on how to present yourself and reaching out to organization, how to sell your skills, your internship purpose, things like that. So among all this information that I offer to you, I'm really keen to know about what can you actually do about it from now to start establishing your own plan to start looking for internship or workplace experience moving forward. So what are the key things you want to do now? By the time you finish this 1.5 webinar with me, what are the key steps that you can start taking from now here? So I'm just going to pause for a few seconds for you to reflect on that. And you're more than welcome to share that on the chat if you want to. What are the key actions you're going to start actually taking from now to take your step one step closer to achieve pursuing your internship opportunity if that's what you want. So what are the key takeaway, and then what are the key things that you want to take here from today's session, move forward, and the key action you want to take. So I might just pause here for a few seconds. You're more than welcome to share that if you want to. While you are having these quick reflections, I might just quickly share you a few more slides to show you what's coming up, so you don't want to miss out. So International Career Series, as I mentioned, this was the part of this International Student Career Series we're offering here in trimester 1. We do have a range of other topics available here. So application still open, registration still open. So you can just access the QR code, Career Help event site. Then you can also book yourself in for the rest of the other sessions you are interested in joining too. And we also talked about how to write your resume, building your professional resume. So make sure you check our website, because we do have a range of different useful resources to help you understand how to prepare your resume that suits your Australian job market. For those of you who are having interview soon, or you just simply want to practice how to do the interview, make sure you're utilizing our virtual platform, which is called Big Interview. You will have a free subscription up to 4 months after graduate, as far as you have an S number, Griffith University S number. So you can just to get coached by a virtual expert. You can also practice different types of interview questions here. You can also record yourself. If you have no immediate person you can practice today straight away, you can actually recording yourself, and then the virtual expert can give you some feedback, even simpler like using some nonverbal language and how many times you blink your eyes, how many times you say between your sentences. So it's a really good way for you to get an immediate feedback to improve your confident English communication skills in this interview settings as well. We talked about Griffith Industry Mentoring Program. It's a really good way for you to create networking connections as well. If you want to find out a little bit more, you can access this QR code. If you're a bachelor students, you have to finish your first trimester and then you will be eligible. For master HDR student, you are eligible from your first year to become part of this program. If you see yourself that I really pursue my self-paced learning, I really want to learn about a range of different career development topics as well for my career success moving forward, we do have a range of great. Chinakam, I will edit my resume, apply for the job today. That's really good immediate action you can do. So I really hope to see what other students thinking about your immediate action you want to take from today's webinar too. Thanks for sharing that, appreciate it. There are a range of different career topics, career planning, how to do job search, how to write a resume. If this is the first time hearing about LinkedIn, we do also have a LinkedIn modules as well. So this is the free online modules you can go through at your self-paced sort of learning activity. So make sure you actually tap into these great online modules we offer here in your own time. If you are looking for jobs, if you are maybe in your final year student, you're ready to graduate, or you're looking for just part-time job, be part of the recruitment group here. So you can actually fill in this form, which means that you'll be part of our recruitment group. You will be able to get a regularly updated job newsletter. So if there's some of your interest, you can actually sign up, be part of this recruitment groups too. I remember that we have a few students asking about how to make a one-on-one appointments. This is how you can make a one-on-one appointment, just to access the QR code, which is Career Hub platform. And you can see who is available. We do have 1, 2, 3, 4, more than 11 different qualified career development consultants here available, of course, including myself, as you can see, and also my lovely colleague, Belinda Murphy, who's based on the Gold Coast. We do offer one-on-one, face-to-face, campus, or Microsoft Teams video call, or mobile phone as well. It's quite flexible depending on how you want to have a catch-up with us. And then this is how we can offer. For those of you who are PhD candidates, pay attention. We do have a specific career support services resource available for you as a HDR students here, if you are PhD or research students. These are quick snapshot of a range of different career services and programs that I offer. So I'm going to share this slide with you. But more importantly, we do have my colleague, Deanne Campbell-John, who is our HDR specialist career development consultant. So you will have the really good opportunity to arrange a one-on-one consultation with her, and then you will be able to talk a range of different career aspirations and needs that you want to discuss with her as well. Make sure that you also keep an eye on this upcoming career skills workshops. that are available for specifically for HDR students. It's called Launch Your HDR Career, Building Your Employability Skills During Your HDR Candidate. So I'm going to share this slide with you so you can register. Lastly, if you're a PhD candidate, we do have this program. You may have heard about this program. It's becoming very popular nowadays. Emerging Leaders Program. This is a 2-day professional development program for HDR candidates. So you, part of this program, there will be also meet the leaders in the industry networking event. So you will be matched up with industry people and then talking about your research inspiration and different career aspiration. And this will be really good opportunity, especially if you're thinking about anticipating your employment outcome in industry sector. So I'm just gonna post it for now. So these are the specific time frame of the application process as well. So most importantly, make sure you follow us on our social media platform because you never know what kinds of opportunity job we actually advertise from our Instagram stories. So make sure you follow our social media page. And here is our contact details and email address as well. For those of you who are still here with me, what I'd love to do, if you can use your mobile phone, and then just to access this QR code right now, if you can scan this QR code, we'd love to hear your feedback because what we really want to do moving forward, we really want to be able to offer such a workshop based on what you want us to do. So it's really important for you to tell us what you really want and then what kinds of topics we can offer moving forward as well. That was pretty much the last slide that I wanted to present here. So I'm just gonna to leave that for now so you can use your mobile phone to scan this QR code. Apart from that, thank you so much for joining me today. I do really appreciate it. And hopefully you got something out of today's session to learn about how to start planning your journeys when it comes to how to find workplace experience opportunity here in Australia. So I really look forward to seeing you for the rest of the other series that we are offering here as well. Apart from that, wish you all the best and enjoy for the rest of week 2. Bye for now.
Thank you. Have a good
You're
day.
very welcome. You too. In the meantime, Jushel, hey, good to hear you. Hello, Muni. How can I please request for a link where all the PDF are posted? Request a link where PDF are posted. I'm not sure what you're asking. Can you tell me more about it? Okay, Dawn. Is this Thursday event around the same time? Thursday event. Let me check for you. Give me a second. It's from 11 to 12:30 p.m. So if you look at I'll share this slide today, this afternoon. So if you just want to quickly revisit this slide, you can access the QR code. You just simply go to Career Hub event page, and we actually have filter. You can filter international student event only, and you'll be able to see that this Thursday event as well. You can check your time. How do you get a recording? It will be sent to you in your email. So just keep an eye on your university email inbox. But make sure you register, because once you register, we will see that your name appear in the registration list so that we can share the recording and presentation slide. I'm just going to start recording this one right now. Yeah, so